Thank you for choosing Wisdom of the Dharma. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new update. Your support helps us keep sharing powerful, life-changing wisdom with the world. And don't forget to drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's grow and learn together. Part 1. The real reason money keeps escaping you. What if the reason money keeps slipping through your fingers has nothing to do with how much you earn, or how hard you work? It's an uncomfortable question, especially when you've done everything right. You show up. You stay late. You budget, save, cut corners. But somehow, just when you think you're ahead, something hits, an unexpected expense, a missed payment, a project that falls through. It feels like money is always 2 steps ahead of you. Meanwhile, someone else seems to glide through life with ease. They get the client call you wanted. Their bills always seem to sort themselves out. They don't hustle harder. In fact, they seem calmer, more aligned. So what gives? In both Buddhist thought and the ancient principles of Feng Shui, the answer is simple. Money doesn't follow logic. It follows energy. And your energy, whether you realize it or not, speaks before you do. It sends a message to the world long before your words, your resume, or your intentions arrive. That message might be openness, gratitude, and readiness. Or it might be fear, control, and silent desperation. Most of us walk out the door carrying exactly that: worry, lack, tension. We clutch our phones. We double-check the time. We brace ourselves for the day ahead. But almost no one stops to ask, what kind of energy field am I projecting as I move through the world? That field is either inviting prosperity in, or pushing it away. Here's the radical truth. Shifting that field doesn't require years of meditation, or a financial windfall. Sometimes, it starts with something as simple as what's in your pocket. One small, intentional object. Something that changes how you feel, how you walk, how you show up. In this video, I'll share 4 surprisingly simple tools, items you can carry with you every day, that help tune your field to abundance. These aren't good luck charms. They're physical reminders of your worth, your openness, and your readiness to receive. If money has felt distant lately, maybe it's time to stop chasing it and start becoming someone it naturally moves toward. Ready to shift the current? Let's begin. Part 2. Why your energy field matters more than budgeting. Have you ever met someone who seems to break every financial rule, and yet, they're always taken care of? They miss deadlines, ignore spreadsheets, maybe don't even check their balance often. But somehow, the right opportunities just land in their lap. Then there's someone else, maybe it's you, who plays by the book. They work overtime, they save aggressively, they cut back on every latte. And yet, the moment something starts to stabilize, a car breaks down or a medical bill arrives. This isn't about intelligence. It's not even about discipline. It's about energy. In Buddhist philosophy, there's a simple but powerful truth: all phenomena arise from the mind. Everything we experience, good or bad, flows first from the energy we carry. This energy, often unconscious, becomes the magnet that shapes the events of our lives. That includes our finances. The modern world tells us that money is a numbers game. Input equals output. Work hard, and you'll succeed. But anyone who's been alive for more than a few decades knows that equation doesn't always hold. Why do 2 people with the same job and salary have wildly different financial realities? Why does one always seem to attract ease while the other struggles to breathe? It's because money doesn't just respond to effort. It responds to alignment. When your internal energy is rooted in fear, control, or desperation, it creates a frequency of resistance. You might say the right things, take the right steps, but the field around you is closed. Wealth, which is a flowing current, doesn't land in closed systems. It looks for openness, trust, and space. Think of it like water. It doesn't care who deserves it. It moves where there's a clear path. This isn't just spiritual theory. Neuroscience backs it too. When your nervous system is in survival mode, tight, reactive, constantly scanning for threats, it literally blocks your ability to see new opportunities. Your brain becomes problem-focused, not possibility-focused. You miss the email that could change everything. You talk yourself out of applying. You settle, because settling feels safer than risk. So how do we shift? The answer isn't to work harder. It's to shift your field, that invisible atmosphere that surrounds your body, your choices, and your presence. It's to train your system, gently and consistently, to move from scarcity to openness. From defense to trust. From I have to fight for every dollar, to I am becoming someone money wants to land near. And the easiest way to begin? It starts with what you carry. The next object we'll explore may already be in your kitchen, but when used with intention, it can stir energy faster than any budget ever could. Let's talk about cinnamon. Part 3, the cinnamon stick, stirring the flow. Have you ever felt like your money was frozen in place, like no matter how hard you try, nothing moves? In energy traditions across Asia, including Feng Shui and Buddhist practice, this kind of stuckness is a real phenomenon. It's not just emotional, it's energetic. And one of the simplest ways to shift that energy is through the presence of something ancient and surprisingly powerful, a cinnamon stick. 1. Cinnamon as a symbol of flow. In Feng Shui, cinnamon is associated with the fire element, heat, action, expansion. It's used to ignite movement, especially in places where energy feels blocked. It warms. It stirs. It pushes stuck energy forward, like air breaking through a frozen pipe. In Buddhist practice, cinnamon's qualities mirror something called viriya, the spiritual energy of persistence. It's the inner spark that lifts us out of apathy and brings us back into flow. When used with intention, cinnamon becomes more than a spice. It becomes a signal. 2. A story from real life. Take the story of Stephanie, a designer from Oregon. After losing a major client, her motivation vanished. She kept trying to plan her way forward, but the spark was gone. During a meditation retreat, a teacher offered her a cinnamon stick, not as a ritual, but as a physical reminder, you are not stuck. You are moving. She placed it in her coat pocket. Each morning, she'd hold it, breathe, and whisper, I welcome momentum. Over time, she noticed her energy shift. She reached out to people she'd been avoiding. Old clients reappeared. Her creative flow returned. The cinnamon didn't fix her problems, but it helped her re-enter motion. 3. How to use it. To try this yourself, find a small, whole cinnamon stick, not powder or oil. Keep it somewhere close, in your wallet, your work bag, or your jacket pocket. Every morning, take 10 seconds. Hold it. Breathe in its scent. Let its warmth activate your awareness. Say softly or in your heart, I am not frozen. I move with clarity. I allow money to flow. Over time, this becomes more than habit. It becomes a rhythm your nervous system learns to trust. 4. Why it matters. This practice isn't about superstition. It's about anchoring your attention in something real. When you show up from a place of flow, not fear, you change your field. And when your field changes, the opportunities you once missed start to notice you. Movement doesn't start with action. It starts with alignment. And sometimes, it starts with something as small and sacred as a cinnamon stick. Part 4, the old key, reclaiming inner authority. What if the path forward is hidden behind a door you've already opened once, but simply forgot? In every drawer, there's at least one old key. It might belong to a former apartment, a storage locker, a mailbox from another chapter of life. Most of the time, it sits there, unused, forgotten. But energetically, that key still holds something powerful, a memory of access. 1. The symbolism of the key. A key is never just metal. It represents permission, transition, and trust. When you once carried it, it meant you belonged. You had the right to enter, to unlock, to begin. That imprint doesn't disappear just because the physical door is gone. In Buddhist terms, a key represents karma you've already created, actions you've taken, courage you've shown, doors you've already walked through. And when you're facing a block today, financially, emotionally, or spiritually, that key can remind your nervous system, you've done this before. 2. A true story, reconnecting with past power. Meet Daniel, a marketing strategist from Atlanta. In his early 30s, he landed a dream job, moved into a new apartment, and for the first time, felt truly independent. A few years later, he was laid off. The confidence he once had evaporated. He stopped pitching himself. He avoided risk. One day, while decluttering, he found the key to that old apartment, the first space that had ever felt like his. On instinct, he placed it in his coat pocket. He started carrying it each day. No mantra. No ceremony. Just presence. But something shifted. He started speaking up in meetings again. He emailed an old contact with a new idea. Within 3 months, he landed a freelance contract that reignited his entire career. Was it the key? Not directly. But it was a reminder. You've already opened hard doors before. 3. Your practice with the key. To begin, find a key from your past. Not any key, one that meant something. A place where you were bold, brave, or free. Clean it. Hold it. Ask yourself, what version of me lived behind this door? Then carry it. In your pocket. In your bag. Let it be near your body. And when self-doubt hits, touch the key. Let it anchor you. Imagine that old door. Imagine it unlocking again, not to go back, but to bring that energy forward. You might whisper, I carry access. I am not locked out. 4. Why it works. The world can make us forget who we were before fear crept in. The key is not a relic, it's a reminder. A way to reconnect with a version of you that already trusted, already moved, already believed. You don't need to become someone new to step into abundance. You only need to unlock who you already are. Part 5. The Lucky Coin, Anchoring Value and Circulation. Have you ever held a coin so long it stopped feeling like money, and started feeling like meaning? In most wallets, coins are afterthoughts. We toss them into jars, lose them between car seats, or let them gather dust in kitchen drawers. But across cultures and spiritual traditions, a single coin, carried with intention, has long represented something much deeper than its monetary value: circulation. 1. The symbolism of the coin. A coin is round, continuous. It travels. It changes hands. It doesn't cling or sit still. And in that simple motion, it teaches us something profound. Wealth is not about accumulation, it's about movement. In Buddhist thinking, giving and receiving form the foundation of dana, the practice of generosity. True abundance doesn't live in hoarding. It lives in flow. When you give with trust, you create space to receive. When you receive with gratitude, you honor the karmic cycle of energy returning to you. A lucky coin, then, is not magic. It's a symbol of circulation, a gentle reminder that value, like karma, comes back when released with openness. 2. A real-world story. Take Marissa, a single mom from Ohio, who was gifted a foreign coin by her grandfather, a man who worked hard his entire life but always gave generously. She never used the coin, but one day, during a financial low point, she found it while searching for quarters to buy gas. Instinct told her not to spend it. Instead, she put it in her wallet and whispered, "I still carry value." Over time, she began using the coin as a point of focus. Every time she felt small or broke, she'd touch it. And gradually, her decisions changed. She asked for a raise. She started tracking small wins. And eventually, she launched a side business in baking, something she'd once dismissed as unrealistic. She still has that coin. "It didn't bring me money," she says. "It brought me back to myself." 3. How to use the coin in practice. Find a coin that feels meaningful. It could be a foreign currency, a rare edition, or even a penny with a year that matters to you. Clean it. Hold it. Assign it a purpose. Say, "This represents flow. This reminds me that value moves through me." Keep it in your wallet or in your energy pouch. Touch it when doubt arises. Let it ground you in sufficiency, not scarcity. 4. Why this matters. A coin teaches one of the hardest spiritual lessons about money. It's not the having, but the letting go, that creates space for more. When you carry a coin with presence, not neediness, you begin to shift your relationship with money from clinging to trusting. So the next time you feel financially stuck, don't just look at what's missing. Reach into your pocket. Feel the weight of that coin. And remember, value is never gone, it's simply waiting to move again. Part 6. The Magnet, Receiving Without Chasing. What if money isn't something you need to chase, but something you're meant to attract, just by being in the right state? That idea may feel strange at first, especially in a world that glorifies hustle. We're told that the more we do, the more we deserve. But in both Feng Shui and Buddhist philosophy, there's a quieter wisdom. The more we force, the more we push it away. 1. The symbolism of the magnet. A magnet doesn't chase. It doesn't argue. It simply holds its frequency, and everything that matches that energy finds its way to it. In Feng Shui, the magnet is a tool of quiet power. It represents the ability to draw and aligned opportunities without struggle. In Buddhist thought, this mirrors the teaching of aparigraya, non-grasping. It's not passivity. It's trust. When we stop clinging, we open ourselves to receive. In that stillness, attraction happens naturally. 2. A story of shift through stillness. Ethan, a freelance consultant in San Diego, was exhausted from trying to make things happen. He pitched clients daily, tweaked his website endlessly, stayed busy, but nothing moved. Then, during a mindfulness workshop, he was handed a small, round magnet and told, "This is your reminder, be still enough to be found." Skeptical but open, he carried it in his jacket. Each morning, before checking email or scrolling, he held it for a moment and said, "I receive what's ready. I no longer chase." Within a few weeks, the noise inside him softened. A former client reached out. A random introduction led to a new project. His energy hadn't gotten louder, it had become clearer. 3. How to use the magnet. Start with a small magnet that fits comfortably in your palm or pocket. Clean it gently and assign it meaning, not as a charm, but as a symbol. Carry it daily. Keep it close, especially when you feel anxious about money or progress. When the pressure rises, pause. Touch the magnet. Say softly, "I attract what supports me. I let go of what resists." This isn't about belief, it's about presence. 4. The quiet power of alignment. The magnet works because it teaches you to hold your field. To stand still when the world tells you to run. To trust that the things meant for you don't need chasing, they need space. Sometimes the most powerful shift is not doing more, but remembering that you already have a field worth finding. Part 7. Unifying the tools, create your abundance field. What if the energy shift you've been waiting for isn't missing, just scattered? You've met the 4 tools, the cinnamon stick, the old key, the lucky coin, and the magnet. Each one holds its own purpose. Each one touches a different layer of your energy. But when they are brought together, something more powerful happens. Like the 4 corners of a compass, they begin to orient your entire field toward abundance. Think of them not as charms, but as instruments. A single flute can play a melody. But add a drum, a violin, and a steady bass, and suddenly, you have harmony. The same is true with energy. A single shift can help. But a consistent, layered field can transform how you show up in the world, and how the world responds to you. 1. The purpose behind the set. Each item represents a distinct quality of wealth. The cinnamon stick symbolizes momentum, the power to stir energy that's gone stagnant. The old key represents access, a reconnection with confidence, memory, and inner resourcefulness. The lucky coin reminds us of circulation, that wealth moves and expands when we trust in its flow. The magnet embodies attraction, the still, centered energy that invites prosperity and without chasing it. On their own, each of these objects acts like a thread. Together, they become a woven field of intentional living. 2. A story of integration. Jordan, a 42-year-old financial advisor in Seattle, had never believed in anything beyond numbers. He dismissed rituals, scoffed at energy work, and prided himself on logic. But after a rough year, losing 2 major clients and facing burnout, he decided to try something different. A friend gave him a small pouch with 4 items and said, "Don't believe in them. Just carry them. Let them interrupt your patterns." He didn't chant. He didn't meditate. But each morning, he reached for the pouch before opening his laptop. It was like a quiet signal, he later said. I wasn't just reacting anymore. I was arriving. Within a few months, Jordan wasn't just regaining clients, he was setting boundaries, working less, and somehow earning more. The shift didn't come from effort. It came from alignment. 3. How to create your personal abundance field. Start with a soft pouch, cotton, linen, or any fabric that breathes. Red is used in Feng Shui to activate energy, but choose a color that feels grounding to you. Place the 4 items inside one by one. As you hold each, pause. Don't rush the moment. Feel its texture. Recall its purpose. Speak, aloud or silently. I move with clarity. I remember who I am. I allow value to flow. I attract with ease. Carry this pouch with you, whether in your bag, your workspace, or your pocket, especially during moments that involve money, decision-making, or self-doubt. It's not the act of carrying it that changes your life. It's what it reminds you to remember. 4. The field is not magic, it's memory. These tools don't perform miracles. They create interruptions, moments where fear loosens and presence returns. Moments where you choose alignment over panic. Intention over autopilot. The pouch is a mirror. It reflects back the version of you that is calm, prepared, open, and grounded. The version of you that wealth and opportunity have always been looking for. Part 8. Final insight. You were never lacking. What if all this time, the thing you were missing was the space to feel whole again? In the rush to earn, to fix, to improve, we forget something vital. You are not broken, and you've never truly been empty. What we experience as lack is often just disconnection. Disconnection from rhythm, from presence, from our own quiet center. That's why we carry these 4 tools, not to change who we are, but to remember who we've always been. And just as the day begins with movement, it should also end in stillness. In both Buddhist tradition and Feng Shui wisdom, the night, especially under the moon, is a sacred window. Not because it adds more energy, but because it reflects. It clarifies. It softens. Charging your abundance pouch in moonlight isn't ritual for ritual's sake. It's a simple invitation to reset. You've carried the pouch through meetings, through worries, through growth. Now, you let it rest, and in doing so, you remind your nervous system, it's safe to slow down. Place your pouch near a window during a full moon or new moon. Let it sit in silence. If it feels right, remove each item gently. Hold them one by one. Not with pressure, just presence. You might say, "Thank you for moving with me. Thank you for reminding me who I am." Or say nothing at all. Sometimes the silence does the work. Even once a month, this quiet practice creates an energetic pause, a reset that clears out what no longer serves and strengthens what already supports you. The beauty is, it's not about perfection. Some days, you'll forget. Some days, you'll doubt. But the pouch will still be there. The tools will still hold your field. And your body will remember the rhythm, even when your mind forgets. Because abundance doesn't begin when you get everything you want. It begins when you realize you already carry everything you need. So the next time you feel lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain, don't look outward. Touch the pouch. Breathe in. And remember, you were never lacking. You were simply waiting for stillness long enough to notice you were already aligned.